everybody, it's Mrs. King. I know it doesn't look like me, but I'm trying out an Animoji. Our project for this week is a different way of turning a shape into a form. It's going to be using line, a little bit of value, and an optical illusion. It's awesome. It's one of the most fun things you can do. Now, take your time, be patient, and practice, 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 because if we don't practice, well, is it gonna work? No. So let's see what we're gonna do. Grab a piece of paper, any kind of paper, grab a pencil, and grab your hand. Yeah, I said it, grab your hand, and let's go and see what we can make. Goal number 1 with this lesson is to draw a hand that looks like it's coming out of your paper. Goal number 2 is to use value to enhance your optical illusion. Goal number 3 is going to be to draw a circle that looks like it's coming out of your paper. And goal number 4 is again to use value to enhance the optical illusion of your circle coming out of its paper. By the time we finish this lesson, we should be able to say, I can use line and value to create an optical illusion in my drawing. Of course, all of these things take practice, and they don't happen immediately. So take your time, have fun, and let's get creative. As you can see, I traced my hand by putting my hand down on a piece of paper. This one just happened to be blue, doesn't matter what color paper it is. And I used a Sharpie marker to outline it. And trace around my hand. You could use a pencil, you could use a crayon, anything that you'd like, but I used a Sharpie so you could see the drawing. I turned my drawing sideways because it was easier for me, and I started drawing a straight line. When I got to my hand, I curved upwards, and then I continued my line. I want my straight line to kind of start and stop in the same place, so it looks like the line almost runs right over the hand and then goes right back to where it should have been in the first place. You could also use a ruler if you'd like, but I chose not to just because I didn't know if everybody would have one. And I wanted to make sure you could do this with the tools that you have at home. If you do have a ruler, use it though. Definitely don't work this fast. But as you can see, every time I reach the line of the hand, I curve that line upwards that I'm drawing. This does take a few times to get it right. It looks easier than it is. But as you know, practice makes progress. The more we do something, the easier it becomes. As you can see, each one of these lines goes all the way across the paper, but it curves upward just a little bit every time we reach the hand shape. You want to keep your lines connected all the way throughout your drawing. Otherwise, you won't necessarily get the illusion that the hand pops up and outward from the paper. It is just that. It's just an illusion using the element of art that we know as line. Each time that line bends upward, it gives your eye the impression that that shape, this time being a hand, is moving up and out of the paper. Let's do one more thing to make this illusion even more believable. This time, we're going to use the element of art called value. Remember, if you watched the value videos last week, value is the lights and the darks and the range within a color. So I started with regular pencil and chose to change to black colored pencil, and I'm adding a little dark value along the right edge of each of the lines of the hand to give it a dark value. Then I used white along the left-hand side on the hand to give it a light value and pop some brightness in here. Notice how the shadow, or the dark value, is next to the hand on the right side. But notice how the white is actually on the hand shape to create a look that's a little bit more bright and makes that hand pop out using a light value. Using both the light value and the dark value in this way allows that hand to really look like it pops out even more. It's a fun thing to practice. So notice again that I didn't put the dark value everywhere. I only put it on the right side. And I only put the light value on the left side. Give it a try, experiment, have some fun, and let's see what you come up with. grab something that's a circle shape and go ahead and trace it. I would start with pencil and draw lightly, especially if this is the first time you're doing it. Then what you could do is you could mark off little lines along the side of your paper so you know where you're going to draw your straight lines across. This time, I would definitely recommend using a ruler. Not only is it going to help you draw straight lines, but it's also great practice no matter what grade you're in. Rulers can be a little tricky, so the more you use them, the easier they are. Notice how the lines are not drawn through the circle, so already it looks like the circle is standing out. Once your horizontal lines are drawn across your paper, you're going to connect those lines using curved lines, just like we did with the hand. Draw lightly at first because you might want to change them. Each of these curved lines goes up in this case. You could have done it the other way where they go down, but let's just follow along with this example. We can experiment later. Once you're sure your lines are the way that you want them, push down a little bit harder or use a marker. It's best to keep the lines skinny, though. It will make the illusion more extreme. Let's darken those lines in and erase any pencil marks that you don't want. Now, if you want to take it to the next level, start to use what you know about value. Darken the value on the right side of your sphere. It's no longer just a circle. You've created an object that has form. It's coming out at you from the paper. You can add a little shadow to the left as well, or a little highlight like we do in the hand. Just giving it a little something extra with a little more value. Well, that's it, folks. I hope you had a lot of fun. You know, I've got to say, this Animoji doesn't look much like me. Let me see if I can find one that looks a little bit more like Mrs. King these days. 1 second. Nope, that's not it. Who do I think I am? Nope, not this one either. Nope. I've had one of these guys running through my yard recently, but nope, not this either. Well, this isn't quite right, but it'll just have to do. I look forward to seeing your artwork, and I can't wait to see how you do with this project. I also wanted to tell you, speaking of projects, that I was in a number of our art rooms yesterday, and I gathered up your artwork, and I'm getting ready to give it back to your classroom teachers so they can send it home. Hopefully, most of the artwork that you get back is finished. If it's unfinished and you still want some help with it or suggestions, you can always just email me. My email's right here, written right across my face, but I'll also make sure it's in the email that comes home to you with this video link in it. I really do miss all of you very, very much, and I can't wait to see you again, hopefully soon. One more thing, if you're out there being creative and not necessarily doing the projects that I'm sending home, I would still like to see those. Share your art with me, even if it's not the assignments that I'm sending. It lets me know what you're creating, it lets me know what you're able to do, and it might give me some ideas for next year for what we can come up with next.